Good morning. It's a fall Saturday morning, perfect for model building. It's rainy outside, it's a bit chilly, house is quiet. Today we are moving on with our Battle of the Ironclads, the Lindbergh Great Moments in History battle between the Monitor and the Merrimack, also called the CSS Virginia. Her proper name is the Virginia. That's what she was renamed to. But everyone knows her as the Merrimack. It's very odd. Okay, so today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be attaching our C to our base. I've already gone ahead and put in some filler, and we'll be sanding that away once it's good and dry. And then we will be attaching the base into our frame here. Now the base fits almost perfectly. There was a tiny bit of buckling, as you can see right here. Right here's some buckling, but what I did was I just split the plastic right there at the corner, and that takes care of that buckling issue and doesn't show up out here. So what we're going to do is we're going to attach this base down, then we'll put a piece of backing board over the top of it, then we will give everything its base coat, including the ships. We will not be painting the inset areas so that the boats will be able to be attached nice and sturdy. But everything will be getting its base coats, everything will be getting its basically we're on the finish run. So one of the things we're going to do with the C though is we're going to give it its base coat. Then we're going to airbrush it in different layers. So we'll be doing some dark blues, some greens, some lighter blues. Then we'll be painting it with a with gesso, basically acrylic, clear coat, and that will give it a nice wet shine and actually bring out a little bit more of this detail in 3D. Then we'll dry brush and get some white on here for the splashes and move right along. The base is going to be black, the sides will be black, and we will be set to go. So let's go ahead and wait for these corners to dry up, and I will be right back and we will start working. See you in a minute. There we go. Now the great thing about this self-leveling primer is it really brings out the detail. I'm going to show you something. I screwed up. I made a boo-boo right here, if you can see. When I was gluing the turret into place, some of the glue, it was a really thin glue, got away from me, poured down, and really obliterated some detail right here. But we are going to fix that, and we're going to fix it by hiding it. I really can't carve it off because I'm just going to basically make a big smooth spot. So what I'm going to do is when I place this into the base, there'll be some waves splashing over the deck on both sides. This was a very low boat, and its deck was awash a great deal of time. So that's how we're going to fix that boo-boo. So let's continue on and get the Merrimack finished up. Alright, so we've got the Virginia Merrimack. She is all done with the primer. Remember, we're not having to paint the hull, so got a good place to hold on to it at least. The monitor is all set to go. And our sea base is all set to go. So what we're going to do next is we're going to airbrush down the sea base with some blues, some greens, things like that. So we got some light light blues, some sea greens, things like that up here. So let's get ready to do that. And once that's done, I think we might do some pre-shading. Well, no, we're not gonna. We're not gonna pre-shade this. Normally on like aircraft models or something, I would pre-shade all of these lines and that would change it. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a lot of washing on this, and we'll bring out those seam lines and things that way. So let's go ahead and clean off the airbrush, reload it, and get ready to do some sea stuff. I'll be right back. Okay, so let's get ready to do this up. So I'm going to start out with green, and that'll be just splotched all over. I'll put a little bit extra green in these wash up areas where there's minor hits, because these were shallow water fights. At one point the Virginia almost ran aground, so any shells are going to be digging up algae and, you know, the sludge that's actually in a shallow water bay. So we're going to have some greens, we're going to have some light blues, and we're going to have a standard dark blue, and that'll finish off most of it. And then we'll go back in later and do a lot of dry brush, bring some different colors out and that sort of thing. So this is the preliminary wash painting, and then we'll be adding more detail as the project goes on. So without further ado, let's get her started. So there is the ocean painted up, base painted. All right, so what's going to happen after we finish the boats and set them in where they belong is we'll be adding the Liquitex acrylic gel clear medium, basically a gesso, and that will be going over the entire area, and that will give it a sheen, a real reflective. Comes on, it goes on kind of a milky white, and then it dries totally clear. Then we will dry brush and bring out a lot of highlights with the water and the sea foam and reflections and all that sort of stuff. So this part is done for now. Next we'll get to work on painting up I think we'll do the Monitor first, then we'll do the Merrimack.